Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPa here again, and today I wanted to talk about almost everyone's favorite character in the First Descendant, Bunny. Now, she is well liked for a number of reasons that I'm sure you guys are already aware of, but I wanted to talk about her skills and whether she's OP or too squishy. I know there's been a lot of back and forth. I've had people in my YouTube comments telling me that she is not that good because she just dies too easy, but there are ways to mitigate this, and I wanted to go over all that after talking about her skills and the like, because I think she's a fantastic character, especially if you're playing co-op. She might not shine solo in some missions just because of the way the missions are going, but if you're playing a multiplayer activity, she is fantastic, and I'm going to explain why. So first off, she has her passive skill Rabbit Foot, charges electricity by moving around, landing on the ground after double jump, inflicts damage to nearby enemies. I don't see nearly enough people using that, and I like to use it quite often to start combat, and I really enjoy that kind of double jump slam activity, so I really enjoy that personally. Then she's got the throw bomb, summons an electro orb to attack nearby enemies and inflict them with electrocute effect. Now this is very nice because it does help out when you're surrounded. You got waves of enemies, you can use this ability to do a bunch of damage, but I don't think this is my favorite ability just because the range on it can be a little bit small at times, and I just feel like there's better options. Then we've got light speeding. This is something you're going to spam on cooldown, increases sprint speed and the amount of electricity obtained. This is how you're going to get your abilities back faster outside of your light speeding. So you're going to want to use this all the time, and you're going to want to be running around the battlefield all the time. If you stop moving with her, you're making a mistake. You want to be moving constantly, and it takes some time to get used to it, but oftentimes you'll pop your light speeding, and then you're going to want to also use lightning emission. Moving around deals damage to nearby enemies and inflicts them with electrocute. Now this is also very nice because you're going to see as you're running around, you're actually doing the damage, and it kind of juices up the lightning emission as well, so you're going to do more damage the faster you're going, the more you're moving. So that's why I really like this ability. It's probably my favorite of hers, even though the maximum power ability is fantastic. Essentially the Kamehameha from the Dragon Ball Z shoots out electricity forward to inflict damage. Damage increases in proportion to skill duration. You can juice up your skill duration with your higher electricity received. So again, that's the cycle. Run around, collect your electricity, and then you're going to use something like the maximum power as often as possible to do a bunch of damage. You can really melt bosses with this. It's very nice, but overall, if you're fighting mobs of enemies, you're going to be sticking to the light speeding combined with the lightning emission for the most part, and then using throw bomb when you're surrounded, or also maximum power in order to do damage to heavier enemies. Now, it can be a little bit jarring as you're learning how to use her because of how squishy she is, right? In order to get her shield back, you gotta get out of combat, but you're running around, so you're going to be in the mix quite often. However, there is a Descendant module that everyone should try to get with her as soon as possible. It's called Electric Transition, and it says modify speed of light to recover energy shield continuously in proportion to the distance traveled. This is very nice because you're going to actually get your shield back very often as long as you are running around. So you're going to want to pop that as often as possible. Like I was saying, your speed of light is something that's going to be very helpful while you're using it consistently. So yeah, I think it's the best of all the modules that I've seen for her, especially if you feel like you're a bit squishy. And she overall has to try to stay alive while running around the battlefield in and out of combat. It does help if you have an Ajax on your team or somebody that's kind of the decoy that's taking up the enemy's fire, because you can just run around and do a bunch of damage and really clear out ads really quickly. Now, as far as the weapons you want to use for her, you pretty much want to stick to something like an SMG, a shotgun, close range damage dealers that you can eliminate enemies really fast as you're running through them. That's going to be really helpful. Obviously, you might need to change that up if you're running something, or if you're facing a boss in one of those boss realms or something like that, but overall you're going to want to stick to those close range heavy impact weapons because those are going to do a lot of damage. The beam rifle is actually very good on her. I don't like it on pretty much any other character, but for her, because she's really playing that up close style and running around all the time, I do like it. It's hard to run a scout rifle or a sniper rifle with her because slowing down to ADS is counterproductive to how her skills work. So that's why I don't really care for that. Overall, I think she's a very good character. I think she is one that is going to shine in certain team comps as almost like an ad clear specialist, especially as a in a group of with waves of enemies, excuse me. And so that's why I really think she is going to be a very good character, even though right now at times without the perfect build she can feel very weak. Once you get her defense up, her HP up, once you get some of those different modules going, she can feel really, really good overall. Again, more so in co-op than in single player, in my personal opinion, especially with all the missions that you're doing. It just feels really bad when you're doing a protection mission and you have to essentially just run in a circle around the zone in order to continue to capture it, because you have to keep moving in order to generate the electricity. So that's the only downside. I do not think she's one of the best characters in the game right now. When I first played the last beta, I made a video on her and I said, essentially, she's OP. She's one of the best characters in the game. After playing around with some different Descendants now, I feel like that's no longer the case, and she's actually kind of in the mid tier depending on what you're doing. But overall, I think she is not nearly as good as she once was. Whether that's because we have more Descendants to choose from, or she just feels squishier after some of the changes, I don't know, but I do know that I hope she gets a bit more shine going forward, just because she is one of my favorite characters aesthetically for obvious reasons. She's also one of those characters that's very fun to play as long as you're not getting one shot consistently by harder enemies, and she has a place to shine. Obviously, that's not going to be in every type of mission or if you're running solo consistently, so that's really one of the bummers. Overall, I hope you enjoy running as Bunny. Let me know what characters, what in the First Descendant you want to see me cover going forward. I have a few of them unlocked so far. I'll probably touch on Viessa next because I find her to be a blast to use. So definitely let me know in the comments down below which characters you want to see me covering. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more of the First Descendant content from me going forward, I'm really enjoying the beta, so I'm going to be pumping that out pretty regularly here. Anyway, my name is JoPa. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.